Thank you, Jason.
Yes.
Thank you, Jason. Crowd goes wild.
Yes, they did.
And I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but California cannabis is no stranger to over-leveraged, debt-ridden companies, entrances to collateral-free, good faith consignment agreements across the supply chain, and operators ghosting after failing to achieve operating profit margins to keep afloat. Many Golden State operators have been living on borrowed time. The rent has been way past due, and we've seen plenty of good folks, small and large, this year, served up eviction notices. But what happens when the rest of the country, emerging and established markets, choose to cover their own eyes and blindly follow Stevie Wonder backstage without any of his handlers? Could the bursting of a looming national debt and delinquent payment bubble be the final nail in the coffin for the cannabis industry as we know it? Portland-based Whitney Economics, led by heavy-hitting cannabis and hemp consultant Bo Whitney, has hit us with nothing but bangers this year when it comes to market insights, investor trends, and economic research papers that have read like tea leaves each round. With the trends his teams reported on often becoming leading indicators and seen in major regional industry headlines soon after. Well, they're back at it again and leaking preliminary data from their latest nationwide survey of cannabis operators and ancillary businesses, aiming to assess the impact of delinquent payments and what impact that they're having on the cannabis industry as a whole. And it ain't pretty. The survey's preliminary findings indicate that delinquent payments represent an existential threat to cannabis operators regardless of size or market. Per the release, the objective of the survey was to determine how pervasive delinquent payments are on the cannabis industry and to assess the overall economic health of cannabis licensees. Previous research by the firm revealed less than a quarter of cannabis operators in 2022 were profitable. The delinquency survey attempts to dive deeper into why everybody continues to struggle. So according to the data, 43% of industry respondents say that delinquent accounts receivables are impacting operators' abilities to service their own debt. 32% of respondents say delinquent accounts receivables are impacting an operator's ability to pay state or federal taxes. 59% say delinquent payments are having a greater impact on their business than federal tax policy 280E. Let that sink in. Folks failing to pay their bills on every level is causing the bill collectors to default on their own debts, which is robbing other folks of the cash flow needed to pay their state and federal taxes. And now everybody's saying that this pandemic of deadbeats has way worse of an impact than 280E ever has. Sounds like a recipe for success. The piece goes on to say that some respondents indicated delinquencies were in excess of 2 months of revenue, totaling millions of dollars, and that they needed to run their yearly operation on what amounted to 10 months of cash flow. The lack of access to cannabis operators to traditional financial tools like bridge loans or loans against accounts receivable is reaching a tipping point. So folks are dumpster diving into the deals with predatory lenders with interest rates often running between 33 and 50%. Without access to bankruptcy protection, the results of business failure in cannabis is just complete individual wealth destruction. Though Whitney says that delinquent payments impact the entire cannabis value chain, farmers, manufacturers, and ancillary operators are actually hit harder than retailers, leading to multiple respondents blaming delinquent payments for having to lay off employees in efforts to keep their own companies alive. Here's what Bo Whitney himself had to say about the new data. At a time when cannabis licensees are struggling economically, state legislators and regulators appear to be tightening controls on the market. These controls, when combined with lack of cash flow, may have catastrophic impacts on businesses, end quote. Now, I've been telling everybody from the jump to ignore the shiny objects and to follow the money if they want real answers as to what's really going on and what's probably going to happen next. A ton of these new booty, Chad-led, VC-funded companies that got in the game around 2018, 2019, thinking shit is going to be easy, and all that B-school training would give them the cheat code to dominate something that's been around longer than they have. Well, all them 5-year runways are drying up now, and it's looking like we're all on the same level. The rent's due, and the landlord cannot afford you any more IOUs. So what's next? Well, Whitney says, given the serious nature of the issue and potential for business failures and labor displacement, state and federal policy intervention would be justified at this time. But I'm sorry. I find it very hard to believe Congress will be actually passing into law any type of real relief, be it safe banking or States Act 2.0, whatever it is, anytime soon. I don't think either that Joe Biden will sign off on any type of federal bailouts for a federally illegal industry that he has shown us time and time again he has no love for. What I know. I'm just Rico Lamitte, the dopest dad on the street, imploring that you all continue to follow the money. High at 9 News. I'm offering my own thoughts and opinions on this one, and I want to hear from the rest of y'all. Will the industry full of non-bill paying deadbeats soon put us all in the dirt, or will the federal government come in like the white knight we all knew it would be all along? What do you think, Jason? Is this the crash? Are we ready for the bubble to burst?
I mean, I've been crashing all the time, man. You know, I crashed out last night, woke up this morning. You know what I'm saying? You know,
we're circling the drain, guys.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, we've all known that this is coming. It's like when
we have these clients in our office right now, and I call these shit sandwiches, and they are, every place you look is something nasty. Mm-hmm. Because they got into it with too many personnel, didn't know how to run a business cleanly. They had to have a sugar daddy to survive. The sugar daddy gets tired of this shit at some point. Everybody owes everybody money, and you can't go to bankruptcy. Now what? Mm-hmm. Okay, and there just isn't a good answer because for everybody that I represent that is circling the drain, I've got somebody out there waiting for them to take their last breath and pick up the bones of these businesses and try to run them more smoothly. Yep. And that's a hell of a place to be. When new places are opening up, how do you tell them, oh, this is going to be fine? You can't make any money. Your sugar daddy's going to fuck you every time he gets a chance. Everybody's going to owe everybody money. And in the end, you know, your life savings is flushed down the toilet.
Yeah, I mean, I know someone right now that's looking to purchase numerous cultivation facilities, and they want to make sure that the real estate is attached in the purchase. Mm-hmm. So
it's crazy you said that, Jason. It's crazy you say that because I've been calling that 8 years ago. I said this is nothing but a real estate game. It's a long-term real estate play.
And this group is not from California. They have multiple assets in other states.
Of course they're not.
But they want to come into the California market now that they're established in these other markets.
Right. The cannabis industry has been I compare, I often use the analogy of a luxury vehicle, right? Mm-hmm. Driving a Mercedes-Benz right off the lot, brand new.
Why not use an American-made car
in phase one?
No, pick the Mercedes.
Because American-made cars, ain't nobody paying 6 figures for American-made car. Let's keep it a buck, man. You getting that shit CPO. So, you getting all kinds of rebates for that thing. But let's keep it a buck. You getting a brand new Maybach right off the lot. You eating all that depreciation, 30% right when you drive it off, right?
Oh man, it's so rough.
Everybody who's getting in now, you're getting that certified pre-owned warranty. A lot of the kinks have been worked out. It might not be perfect yet, but you got a much clearer path to what's going on, what has happened, and what to expect. And a lot of people just ate that depreciation these last 5, 7, 10 years in Colorado and Washington. And unfortunately, you're gonna see a whole lot of new drivers very soon.
Mm-hmm. New drivers and old whips.
Old whips.
Mm-hmm.
In 90.
Under warranty though. Under warranty. Much better deals.
Definitely better.
In.
Definitely better financing terms. That's for sure. Yes.
What do you think about this, Rochelle? The industry overall, are we headed to destruction? Nobody can pay the bills.
I mean, definitely the latter. I mean, has anybody on this call or anybody in this industry If anybody has an experience where they've always had their invoices paid on time, that's pretty miraculous. I have asked this question to so many people, the epidemic of not getting paid, and it's so real. I don't know anybody who hasn't had at least one experience where they haven't been burned by a vendor, right? Like, it's so commonplace, and it's a chicken and an egg thing, I guess, as you were saying. I don't know what it's going to do by a vendor for everyone to get caught up, because it really just causes a trickle-down situation. And as a longtime freelancer myself, I know the pain, believe me.
That's right.
Yeah.
Oh, it's just like the sign in your background, Rochelle.
Truly.
Started from the bottom, now we're here. We're still here.
Big facts.
Yeah, exactly. Sounds like social equity, uplifting. Very uplifting.
Oh my God.
What you got to say about that, Rico?
Oh my God. I'm not touching that one today. I'm not touching that one today. Socialist equity. You know how I feel.
Yes, on that, we're going to go to
reparations, man. What about reparations?
We're going to go to commercial. We're going to go to commercial.
Yeah, exactly.
We're going to be right back.